Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to review Kaspa. For those who are unfamiliar with my channel, what I do is I feed research into a model. The model has an output. I weigh the result of the model on reality. I reflect and modify the model to correlate with higher ROI opportunities in the cryptocurrency space. Now, this model takes into consideration timing as well as fundamentals components of the project. This is the model, and the project is Kaspa, and I'm going to dive right into it. So what problem or market does this project currently solve? Well, right now it's a fast payment system. The way I heard the founder talk about this, I'll go straight to their vision. The way they talked about it is silver to Bitcoin's gold. It's Nakamoto-like service at internet speeds. So basically, it's a payment network. The token is similar to Bitcoin in that it's a scarce token item, and it's the fastest proof of work out there. That's what they claim, even faster than Cardano. So Cardano has parallelization operating on top of its network, and this one is a DAG. This is the architecture right here. So this one's not really a blockchain, it's a BlockDAG. That's what's one of the unique components of this project. It's an implementation of the Ghost protocol, but as investors, this is just back-end stuff. It solves the scaling trilemma. It's the fast confirmation times. And it's basically a medium exchange. Like in interviews, the CEO talks about what's the use of the token. It is a medium of exchange. They don't have any smart contracts on Kaspa. Their focus right now was UTXO. That's basically the payment system. And in my opinion, this looks like it might take some time before they do put smart contracts on top of this platform. It wasn't designed to not allow smart contracts, but right now the smart contracts are not a thing that is being considered. So that's the gist of it. Like, what does this solve? It's the fastest proof of work payment system architecture. And this is the design of the BlockDAG, right? So as throughput through this system is needed, you could see like in this kind of like a blockchain, but it's a DAG, right? As throughput is needed, it opens up more channels. It opens up more channels to allow more throughput so it won't have problem scaling. All right, I'm going to dive right into it. This model cares about price performance, so that's what I'm going to dive into it right now. So future increased demand for the token. Wait, let me fix this. Not right now. The model doesn't expect good price performance right now. As far as weak hands, that's one of the reasons why is everybody's in the money. It's kind of being hyped right now. The project is under some serious price movement, and that's what makes a project risky to enter. You usually don't want to enter it when there's extreme hype. So it's got this hype risk with it. It's got a 6x increase in followers in just a couple months. And time held, all the people who hold it are short-term holders or like recently bought it. So weak hands, that letting the market test those people is an element to be considered. So it's got that weak hands element to it. Major upcoming events regarding the roadmap. So it's got a mobile wallet and Rust implementations that they're going to be doing. And further along the line, in my opinion, this is something that seems like it would be 2 years out, is smart contracts. And you can see from my sources for that. But the timeline elements that are in the short run is a mobile wallet and Rust. Regarding the token issuance, right now you're gonna experience inflation unless you are a proof of work miner. So holding the token means that you're going to be getting a diluted value here. From this model standpoint, if you wanted to enter this project, this is the best time would be to enter it sometime after 2025 or sometime in between here, because you have a pretty high issuance rate from where we are now for the next 25 months. You can see the issuance rate is quite high here. You see here. that you can see from this graph that the issuance is high for the next 25 months. And you can see, mathematically speaking, we got to slow down after that, or sometime in 2025, when the rate of change for the issuance slows down quite a bit. Obviously, it's happening by months. That's the issuance rate. The current amount of tokens is, I think it's 14 million, and the maximum will be 28 million. All right, so let me get back into this. Okay, so further things with the token supply distribution, it's just looking risky from that standpoint, like with token issuance. And this token is not, once again, it's proof of work, so the token is not a P2E element, which means price earned. It's not entitled to cash flows. It's not entitled to fee revenue processes across this platform. Low market cap. So this thing is currently circulating at 120 million-ish. The price at the time of this video. The fully diluted, when all these tokens are released, is 200 million. So about halfway there. And the current price is 7 cents. Now it's got recent price action. This is another reason we're seeing some risk here, is because it's gone up 30x in the last year in a bear market. It's gone up 30x. In a bear market. Obviously, now here's the one of the good elements is there's no ICOs. This thing was released in the wild. And I think that's one of the reasons it had that price appreciation, because there's no ICO sellers. And so it's easy to move the price up or down. But that's the reason the price is a little risky. Now, here's another thing to consider why the price is going up and can go down quite easily. It's got a 10,000 ratio cap to liquidity depth. That's really high. Normally we see these around 500. What is that? That's the amount of purchasing power or liquidity depth, the amount of buy orders in respect to the market cap. So it's very thinly traded, and that's why it can easily go up as well as it can easily go down. So it's just that element. And as far as the niche or servicing something right now, it's just a payments network. That's what it serves. So all of these things look kind of risky from the model standpoint right now. Regarding the governance. Okay, so regarding the vision. As the leader said, it's kind of the silver to Bitcoin's gold. That's kind of the vision of it right now. Remember, so this thing is scalable. Kaspa is scalable, Bitcoin's not. Bitcoin will need layer 2s. This one won't. This one will have security on the layer 1. All right, regarding governance, proof of work systems means the token is not entitled to governance. This thing is not going to have governance. It's a proof of work model, which means that the miners are in control of the future of this platform. Who's going to implement future code releases is consensus amongst the protocol users. That's the same governance model as Bitcoin. That's where whatever version of the protocol that is accepted is whatever version is adopted by the miners and application users of the platform. So it's like a democracy, but the people in control of the network do not have to be token holders. In general, the people who will be involved should be usually are token holders, but they're also going to have the interests of miners because the miners are going to be selling into the market, and the miners want higher prices, they want higher premiums, they want to get the most money that they can. So the miners are a major element of governance as well. So the token holders are not the ultimate control of this. Token holders are kind of like there's somewhat in there, but it's mostly the protocol consensus. Whatever version protocol users accept is the governance model, and the miners. So those are just. I put this as neutral. I'll just put this governance as neutral. Proof of work is like a neutral governance model. It's not super proactive. It's more protective. It's not about getting the best upgrades as fast as possible and ensuring they're safe. It's more like protecting what is already there. That's kind of the governance model of proof of work. Okay, regarding the team, these are an all-star team. Jonathan Sampolinki, He's Harvard background. He's part of the MEV research team. He was reflected upon in the Ethereum white paper for his work on Ghost protocol. He was cited by the Ethereum white paper. So that means he knows his stuff. He's very academic. He knows the principles behind blockchain architecture systems. Zhao Yang, likely rich individual, CEO of DAG Labs, one of the entities pushing this. Co-creator of Farmville, which was sold to Facebook for millions of dollars back in the day. He's part of Zynga Gaming, so he's got quite extensive experience there. So the team is all-star team. All-star team building this. People with business to release, understanding how to make multi-million-dollar businesses and getting them to the public. So all-star team. Now, regarding all of these elements, developers, developer motivation, developer payment systems, this is not a protocol with a governance model. So whatever developers decide to work on the system are going to be kind of those who just get excited about it from a miner standpoint, or who just jump on the network from a proof of work standpoint, etc. Whoever's just enthusiastic, whoever they can capture from an enthusiasm standpoint for their payment protocol. But remember, this thing isn't going to look, from my standpoint, it looks like it's not going to have smart contracts within 2 years. So I put all these things as neutral. Like, I don't see any developer increase in motivation because there's not going to be smart contracts for 2 years. So it'll just be the core team, really, and the miners and whoever else can get excited about the protocol. All right. Token used for service and governance. No, this is, once again, the token's kind of a bystander on this. It is the miners that are going to be in control and the protocol users, and that's the governance in a sense. Value of the market. So in the short run, I put this as neutral because it's the payments. We already have Bitcoin for that and the Lightning Network or whatever, and all the other cryptos for payments at this point. So that's not the amount of competition in the payments space is very large. But in the long run, there is a 400 trillion smart contracts environment, and I think that's going to be even larger in the future. But I put it neutral for now because that's 2 years out. All right, so that's the model's standpoint. Summary on the project. The pros, it has a fair launch, which means that there's no ICO investors that are going to be made rich by this, which is great. Anyone can get involved. Anyone could be from the ground floor. It's got a strong team, and there's no ICO, right? So those are all the great things about the pros. The cons, it's under major hype, major price danger, short-term holders, and it's that kind of stage right now. Just because it's even hearing about this, I usually hear some people request that I review projects while they're hot, and this is one of those projects because it's just went up 30x in the last, in a bear market. That's why I'm hearing about it. Proof of work governance. I'm not a fan of proof of work. This is just my personal experience in the space. I think proof of stake systems are where the future is going, or where it is right now, because they're far more efficient. This is just an opinion from my 10 plus years experience in the crypto space. No smart contracts anytime soon. That's another con, and very thin liquidity. So this thing can go down just as quickly as it went up because we're talking about $15,000 of buy pressure for a 2% range in the density of the buy orders, a 10,000 ratio on the cap to liquidity depth. So those are the cons. All right, so next I'm going to give my patrons my exclusive thoughts, actions, and what I'm going to be doing from here. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And that was Kaspa, and I'll see you guys later.